pursue, both legislatively and with respect to his foreign policy.
It has been a week of mixed messages. There's that old saying, what's life without a little contradiction? Well, we're hearing from the new communications director on one very important issue. Let's take a listen to this. We can talk about it on the other side, Leslie.
Let me ask you one last Russia question, then I want to talk about agenda. In a tweet this week, the president said this weekend. He asserted his complete power to pardon. Question, if he and his people have done nothing wrong, why even talk about pardons?
You see, this is one of those things about Washington, and it's the convolution and the nature of things. I'm in the Oval Office with the president last week. We're talking about that. He says he brought that up. He says, but he doesn't have to be pardoned. There's nobody around him that has to be pardoned.
Here's the question. There's been a great deal of talk about the powers of presidential pardon here over the last week, whether the president would look to pardon his staff, family members, perhaps even himself. We're hearing more about that, but now we're hearing, obviously, that's not the case from his new communications director. Here's the question. Is this just talk, or could this seriously be considered?
Well, I think initially it feels like it's just talk, like the president is, in a sense, grabbing for straws to try and to get this to go away. But of course, the power to pardon is a very important one. It's a very controversial one. But I think what was just said there is very important, which is that to suggest this early in the presidency, this early in the investigations, that there should be a pardon absolutely raises the question. It implies that there is guilt, and that's not a good road to go down. What needs to take place right now is really to look very carefully to allow the investigations to go forward. And remember, even if there were a pardon, even if the president decided to use his power to pardon, the investigations would continue. It doesn't prevent investigations from going forward. But the power to pardon is one that was put in place to be in the public interest, to temper justice with mercy, to think about the stability of the country. And in this case, what really needs to take place is that the investigations need to go forward for the integrity of democracy. And so the pardon seems very inappropriately placed. But again, even raising the issue in the way that it was raised casts a whole suspicion over the presidency by implicitly suggesting that there is guilt and there's a need for a pardon.
Leslie Venjamuri, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.